Please welcome to the mic, Casey Balsham. It's Broadway, bitch.
Hello, welcome back. Season 2 of It's Broadway, bitch. It's me, it's Casey, still your host. Not pregnant anymore, still a bitch. Okay, second season. I'm excited. We are starting off with a bang. My guest today, very, very excited. An ex-theater kid, an author, viral TikTok, I guess what did sensation, star, people use all kinds of words for that.
I go with creator usually.
Creator.
But star is okay.
TikTok creator. Here in the studio today, I have Eli Rallo, everyone.
Yay. Hello.
Hello. We've got the new book. So yes, this is your second book, but I want to kind of take it back to where you kind of started and came from, because you actually... You're a TikTok creator, but you were also like a theater studies major, a creative writing major, a playwright major, poli-sci, and then you went viral in 2020 for Snacks. Did you think that that was going to be what got you your stuff?
Absolutely not. But looking back now, I, for some reason, was just very like delusional with it. I think like, do you know the trend that's going on right now? And it's maybe this time, and it's all these people that didn't pursue their artistic passions.
No.
Okay, so it's maybe this time, which I don't know why. Like, does anyone know what cabaret is? I don't know, whatever. It's like dancers and artists and singers being like me when I like went to law school, but like what I actually want to do, and like all this time spent and like I didn't do it. I don't relate to that because like I would sooner die than like not do everything I want to do.
Yeah.
I've always been that way. So I feel like I knew that it would work. Or even if it didn't, I would never stop trying.
You were just always going to throw stuff at the wall.
I think I would get bored. Like I worked a 9 to 5 and I was still trying at the time because I would get bored like not trying. Like I tried for over a decade. I'd been posting my writing. I had been making content like memes and lists. I used to do polls on my Instagram story in college. Like I was known for doing these things, like writing poems, all these things. I was a theater school kid, all that stuff, like writing plays. I was always trying for like over a decade, and it was more out of just like the delight of it. Like I enjoyed it, but also I just knew that like because I enjoyed doing it, I would never stop trying, even if I didn't like make it at any sort of time, because it was fun for me. So while I never anticipated the snacks, to answer your question, I knew it'd be something, I think. The snacks was random. I liked TikTok a lot. I remember feeling a bit sheepish when it like turned from Musical.ly to TikTok, and I downloaded it and was like enjoying it because I felt like I was too old for it, which is crazy to say.
That's what I felt
because
forever.
I was 21. But like I was too old for it when I was 21. Like everybody on it was 12.
I also remember being at an airport one time being like, do I need to get on TikTok? And then I looked over and there was literally like a 7-year-old on TikTok, and I was like, oh yeah,
like,
no,
I can't get on TikTok.
But then it became like
it became what it is today.
Yes,
it's like another.
But at the beginning, I was also like, I'm a grown up.
Yes, and I really liked it. And I would over the pandemic, I would make my friends like videos and like montages of college and like funny stuff, but always putting them on friends only. And I would make videos and put them on friends only, like so my friends could see. Then I like made that snack one, and I accidentally put it on public. Best accident of my life. I do believe in serendipity and happy accidents, and momentum coming from the most random places. It's definitely random. I try to remind myself of it a lot because it keeps me grounded in the reality of like what a gift it all is.
Yeah, and I also think it follows the thing of like I often like will get caught up watching a TikTok because they're doing something like you kept layering and you kept layering and you kept adding, and people want to see the end, and then so often on TikTok they don't show you the end. Have you ever seen those videos where they're like, do this, and then you just think you're like, where's the outcome?
I was watching
so you had like that good formula.
Swatch lipsticks on their hand yesterday, and I know that they were doing that first because it's like you swatch it on your hand, but I'm like, I need to see you put it on. And luckily they put it on by the end of the video, but like I need to see you put the lipstick on. I want to see what it looks like.
Very funny what we'll watch.
They do that because they want to make a second video. Like I get it. And then you go to part 2. I'm always going to part 2. So I totally get it.
Yeah. So Snacks is what blew you up, but then you were able to continue the success and kind of make it what you wanted it to be. Like you said, like you're doing, you have your rules and you just do like lots of fun content, a lot of Broadway content, which we're going to talk about. But it became something, like you said, like you were always going to try, but like once it became a job, like is it tiring? Like how many hours then are you actually spending? Because it is like, this is then becomes like something that was fun now becomes your job.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, especially with the writing. Like that was always fun for me. Like I was always writing stories, always writing poems, always writing essays. Like I just always did it. That I think now being on deadline and like having a professional career in it, it definitely does take away the magic of something being a hobby. Like I always say to people, like don't undersell your hobbies, like things that you don't do to monetize them, because once you monetize it, some of the magic does get sucked out,
of course,
in a way. And I feel that way more about writing than content, because to me, like it's literally a wonder of the world that like my own personality can like pay my bills.
Yeah.
And that's something so special to me that I don't think that the magic will ever go away from that.
Yeah.
With writing, it's not that the magic is ever gone. Like that's the most magical thing in the world if you're only listening and not watching the book.
Pointing to her new book.
It's so magical, but it definitely isn't like the way I used to feel, which is that it was just this like unabashed creative thing that I did, and not like now I'm thinking about the numbers and the metrics and the demographics and the money. It does kind of remove some of the magic, but when it became a job, I think I was just like so excited to get out of the 9-to-5. Like,
of course,
my dad owns businesses in restaurants, so, and I liken working in restaurants to theater all the time. I mean, I liken everything to theater because I really think like everything is theater, but there's nothing more similar to theater than like operating a restaurant. And anybody who grew up in family-run businesses who also likes theater will understand what I'm saying. It's like you have the customer, which is like the audience who you're trying to please, and you're trying to like tell a story from the minute they walk into the door to the minute that they leave, and like give them an experience that they're paying for, that they're opting into. And then people become fans of restaurants, and like they go back to them, and they like gain attachments to them, and it's like a second home or like a third space for them, in the same way theater is. And like the same way that theater, it's like the show must go on. It's the same thing with restaurants. It never turns off. It's 24 hours a day. There's always a problem. Like my brother always runs one of my parents' restaurants now. It's like also his and my dad's. And it's always like this happened, this employee, this, the toilets are this, the electricity, the bar.
I worked in restaurants for over a decade.
It's crazy.
A guy died at a restaurant I worked at.
No,
dinner service
literally
went
people
on.
are dying.
It went on. He died in a bathroom.
No, and dinner service goes on. Like
we just took him out of the
people
took him out the back,
attacks,
and we're like, everybody
fainting,
just use the handicap stall.
Fights, like it's nonstop all day. I think it's very much so like theater, but watching my dad never work in a traditional job, like I don't want to say it wasn't expected of me to go into a traditional job, but like I was kind of like, that's my normal. Like my parents don't have a 9-to-5.
Totally.
My parents aren't getting up like that. My parents are hustling and running their own business. So when people ask me about my work ethic and how I'm able to keep momentum, it is a massive privilege when the first example of work is somebody that does it their own way and does it for them.
I had to make their own schedule.
Makes their own schedule, builds it from the ground up. Like neither of my parents were born into like extreme wealth, and I had a very privileged childhood because of how hard my dad worked. Yeah. And I think that's a misconception about me for some reason. A lot of people are like, oh, like her grandparents must have, and all these things. Like, no, my dad,
your dad
like
did
he
it.
built what he had.
Yeah.
And I think watching that, when you get to watch that, what a gift and like what a privilege, because now I'm like, I know how to hustle, and I know how to create my own schedule, and I know how to build something, and I know how to problem solve. Yeah. Restaurants are the world.
You have to be proactive instead of reactive. Otherwise, you'll 100%. It's going to be the worst day of your life.
No, because you've said you worked in restaurants. Yeah. If you're reactive working in a restaurant, you won't last there. It's the hardest job in the world.
It's so dumb. I would get stressed. I was like, why am I stressed out over clam chowder? Like
I'd be in
the back. I'd be like, what do you mean?
You're crying.
Get my ticket. I would be like, it would literally,
and
I would want to hide.
You.
I would feel like my stomach. I worked on a Thanksgiving one time, and we ran out of a couple things, and the way that people were like, you ruined the holiday. I was like, bro, cook your food then.
No, cook your food. Like, girl, I don't know. It's people are so nasty. I have the most respect for service workers out of anybody, because I grew up with service workers 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I was taught by my parents to respect them and taught by my parents to tip well. I just don't think there's a harder job, and I'm of the belief that everyone should work in a restaurant in their lives.
Everybody should.
You have to. It's a skill set.
It's just you need to learn how to be like deal with people, and because you have
theater.
every kind of person.
You have every kind of person, every walk of life. You have the people who this is their one restaurant outing of a year. It's so special to them. They get dressed up. You have your people who are regulars. You have your people on a first date. Like, you're curating an experience for them the 100%. Same way that you do in theater. And so watching that, to answer your question, like it's never lost on me how special it is to get to build your own business. And I understand the work it takes, and I understand, I think, like how lucky I am. So for that, it's a great day every day.
I love that. Now, you had you spoke a little bit about privilege and things like that, because you gave this interesting interview about algorithm bias. And I just want to know, like, because you talked about how you do feel like that there is like an algorithm bias.
100%.
And I'm genuinely curious about how you found out about it. And is it because Charlie D'Amelio got famous? You were like, there's got to be something happening here. Like something is wrong.
I think what I realized was like,
no shade, Charlie.
No,
She's
we
on
love
Broadway
Charlie.
right now.
We love
Yes,
Charlie.
I
She's
actually
killing
really
it.
want to see her.
But like she's amazing. If you watch the app and you watch videos on the app, I think people tell on themselves a lot when they say influencers are all the same. They're so boring. It's like, then you're consistently watching all white girls do their makeup. Like, you're telling on yourself if your algorithm
all
looks
doing
like
makeup.
that. You know what I mean? If it's white girl after white girl doing makeup in a beautiful, gigantic home or apartment, like, you're kind of telling on yourself because there is so much diversity on the app. But what is rewarded the most on the app is thinness, it's wealth, it's like economic privilege, it's being societally beautiful, and it's whiteness. I think anybody would be lying if they said that the majority of the most famous creators with getting the most opportunities are not white. The influencers that work the most in terms of getting the most brand deals and like getting the biggest bag, they're all white.
It's just from like what you've seen? Or
Yeah.
like, is there like...
There's no data, but it's factually accurate. Like, I know this for a fact.
No, it seems like it is. That's why I was like,
And-
I was like, that's such an interesting thing because I've never thought about that. So to hear you say it, I was like, that's actually a very interesting thing to notice, or thing to just kind of be like, this is fully happening.
And I think that the thing about TikTok that's really special is like, it is like an anybody's platform, but like, you have to be recognizing the way that your privilege can play into your success there. Like I said, growing up with family that had like an economic support system for me, when I wanted to leave my job, if I failed, there was never going to be an option that I wouldn't be able to pay my rent. That's something that people need to recognize. Being able to go full time as a creative in any field is privilege. You need to have that safety net, is what people call it. And I think that that's something that like needs to be discussed. It's like baseline starts from there, but even when you look at the creators who are the biggest on the app, they are white and they usually come from money. And I think it's just worthwhile to say that and recognize it, but also to do something, because like, there's not much we can do about the way something's coded. But like, my For You page is incredibly diverse. People from all walks of life, many different class backgrounds, racial backgrounds, sexualities. And I always try to repost. I repost content all the time. I repost more content than I make. And I've had people tell me before, like, thank you for reposting that, because you're the reason I got XYZ, because you saw it and then reposted it for me.
Because you're like actively going out and looking at
amplifying
other
creators and looking for other creators. But on like the level that I can personally understand it is like, I've probably fluctuated like weight in the past 5 years since I've been on the app, like maybe 30 pounds, like not that much, but also like a noticeable amount of weight. And I get treated better on the app when I'm thinner versus when I'm not. And
that's so wild.
And that is on a very small scale. Like, think about people who are gaining or losing weight on a larger scale. Like, I get treated better on the app by brands, by opportunities, by other creators, like if I'm in a thinner body. Like, and I could notice it from that, because obviously I carry a lot of other privilege with me that makes it something that I don't personally experience, but something I think it's like worthwhile to talk about and just constantly be like interrogating, especially the white creators, because, you know, if we're in the seat of power, then we can help the other people that deserve the same amount of
anybody that has any kind of platform or voice, like, it would be very cool if they used it for other things than just to amplify themselves.
Totally. And I'm of the belief system, like at least now, where I don't expect it from anyone, but I think it's super dope when it happens.
It is.
I think it's a precarious position too. Like,
it's really brave to kind of go, like I had Laura Benanti on, and she's always talking about, like, you know, she's always posting a lot of political stuff, and I was like, it's really like, it's very cool that you're using your voice to say, like, this is what I think is, to just kind of stand up for things that you think are wrong, or to put up people that you think deserve it.
Exactly. I think it's,
we have to hope that everybody would do that.
You have to hope that everybody would do that. I think I don't expect it, because they don't.
Not a lot. They don't. I've unfollowed a lot of creators that I followed because during like crazy things going on in the world, they were like Fabletics, and I was like, get
you're
the
like,
fuck
girl,
off of my timeline.
You're like, girl.
I was like, I'm sad.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for my team that like every time something awful in the world has gone on, I've been able to get out of like posting requirements if I have them. And like, I think when you
could you imagine?
Yeah, the day Roe v. Wade got overturned, I was on a brand trip. This is crazy. I was on a brand trip and had to post an ad for a different brand. And the brand trip, they were so nice. They were like, don't come to anything. Don't post anything. No ads. We don't even want them. It was Spotify. Shout out. I was at VidCon with them. They were like, don't even tag. Like, they were like, we're taking it off, like all of us. And we were like physically there at VidCon. And then another brand, whom will not be named, they were like, we're going to sue you if you don't post. Like, you need to post. Like, you cannot break this contract, all this stuff. And I was like, this is ridiculous.
You're like, let me breathe. Like, my rights just got taken away.
Also, like, this looks bad on you guys.
Yes.
And I will be very obvious, like, a day later, because I never want to work with you again, to be like, hey, the ad I posted yesterday was completely against my will, so I didn't get in legal trouble. Because that's what happened.
Do you say that on your things?
I did say it after. This was years ago, obviously. It was when Roe v. Wade got overturned. But
good.
I said something after being like, the ad I posted yesterday was against my will. Like, I tried to get out of it. And every other brand, including shout out Spotify, were so gentle with everybody. And a lot of us were forced to post ads. I remember it wasn't just me. Like, there was groups of us.
That sucks.
I know. And it was kind of like, hi.
Like, there's bigger things.
Now the world is like so on fire and just like genuinely flammable that I do think that like joy and hope is part of the resistance, and like carrying on with our content and giving people something to enjoy. And I think that's a wide reason people love theater is really important.
I was just about to say, like, that's why I go, like, I like being like, I have no phone for 90 minutes to 3 hours.
Yeah, we're doing
and
the theater
I'm
thing.
doing this. I'm present. I'm doing something that genuinely brings me joy. That's bringing a lot of people joy.
100%.
So yeah, I want to talk because you are an ex. Because obviously this is a Broadway podcast, and you say you're an ex theater girly, but girl, you're still in it. I feel like I was like, you're not ex. You're still posting. You went to the
ex-theater
Tonys.
kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not a child anymore. But
yes,
because I was very much so of that world where like people I know now, like personally know because they know me from my content. Like people, I'm doing a 54 Below show to celebrate the book the day before it comes out.
I love that.
People performing at the 54 Below show like were my childhood heroes. So like I've had to like reel it in.
Can you announce?
Not yet. But it is very much so like the craziest lineup so far. Like I'm like, okay, what the fuck?
Okay,
and also I
talk
have
to
to sing, which I do sing and I can.
I know. I've heard you sing on
but
TikTok.
the thing is like not like these other people.
Yeah.
No. Like not like these other people who like the hint I'll give is that like I spent my entire high school and middle school like in my bedroom watching like videos of these people that were like slime tutorials or like random angles of like them like performing and like random like videos or like backstage with Broadway.com. Like these people are like true heroes to me. And I think it's so crazy to be like in community with them where I'm like, okay, we're gonna perform a 54 Below show. Like my parents are like, you have to sing last, and I'm like, I need to sing first. I need to sing first. Nobody can be left with the reminder of me after all of that.
I love that. That's what, well, I'm sure you will be fine. It's going to be your show. People are going to be there to support you.
Exactly. It's going to be my show. Be great. There'll be a support system.
There'll be a support system, and I'm sure you're going to be great. I want to know who would play you, what Broadway actress would play you in, like, if there was like a show about you. Who was your
like
dream?
I was thinking about this and like I couldn't actually think of one. So then I was like, I just wanted to be Mackenzie Kurtz, so everyone thinks I'm like Mackenzie Kurtz. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone thinks I'm blonde and like stunning like that. She went to college with me, and like it's such a shame to announce that she's truly the nicest girl. She's so easy to work with. Like when you see someone that beautiful and that talented, there's a part of you that hopes in your mind, you're like, she has a flaw. And then she has none. She's gorgeous. She's talented. She's kind. She's easy to work with. She's fabulous. She's everything. And every time she books, I'm like, deserved. Yeah,
because you went to University of Michigan, which is a huge theater school.
Yes.
Now, were you a star kid or were you cool?
Oh, I was definitely involved in the Star Kid of it all. And like watching Pasek and Paul and watching Andrew Keenan Bolger like on YouTube. Like I knew about Michigan forever, and
it's huge. Like
it's
so
huge.
many people came out of there.
It's massive. It's like Michigan, Carnegie Mellon, CCM. You know those big schools.
Yes.
I wanted to go to school for musical theater, but I think I just woke up one day and was like, okay, let's be fucking for real. Like, you're probably not going to be on Broadway. Now, I don't want to like limit myself because who knows, right? Like. Anything
Put it
can
out there,
happen,
girl.
Anything can happen. But like realistically, I don't have the magic. I'm not Ava Noblesada. Like that's not my magic.
She's great.
She's phenomenal.
Yes.
And so I was like, I need to, reroute, but like this is my passion and it's what I love. And I stumbled upon a lot of like BA theater programs that would give me kind of the tools to do whatever I wanted in theater that wasn't necessarily performing, but just be around performers. So Michigan's program is wonderful. It's a BTA, Bachelor of Theater Art. And it's all encompassing. It's education, production, producing. You can try your hand in direction. You learn about like lighting, costumes, theater education, casting, kind of anything.
Casting?
Casting is interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah, you do legal issues. Like it's kind of like a catch-all. So if people want to become anything from a stage manager to a producer, a theater educator, an actor, like you can kind of
dabble in everything.
You dabble in everything, and it's a very established program now, incredibly. But when I got there, it was more new and like kind of getting its sea legs, trying to figure itself out. But that was a great blessing for me because I feel like I was able to help help shape it, which was special because I now
Totally.
watch kids go through like a really special program, but also they allowed me to be flexible. So they really allowed me to do the creative writing thing. Playwriting was a new thing at the time there. It was the first year that we had our playwriting professor. So I feel like I got to be a part of like the early days. I started a theater like extracurricular space at Michigan that's still there, like a student group.
You did?
For playwrights, yes.
What's it called?
It's called Blank Space. And the
Perfect.
idea is that we were in, it's so cute. We were in playwriting class and there is this student org called Basement Arts at the school. And a lot of people produce like small plays there, or they produce their own plays through it and like original work. But in order to do Basement Arts, your original work has to be a little bit more like meaty and established. It can't just be like you wrote it in playwriting class and now you're going to pitch it to Basement.
Sure.
It needs to be like, so I was like, where is the space for stage reading and workshop? Like stage reading and workshop are a part of this industry, and like there's not a space for stage reading or workshop in this school. It literally is just playwriting class and like full-fledged productions.
Right.
So
there needs to be like a little bit of a in between.
I don't know if this is how they still do it, but when I was there, it was like 2 to 3 week workshops, and there was a cast and a director and a producer from like the team of people that like run Blank Space. And then every single night for like 2 to 3 weeks, we come together, do just table reads of the script, give edits, give feedback. The writer would go home and write every night, edits, feedback, bring new scenes, and then for the last week they would kind of put together a staged reading, and then the audience would also leave feedback.
Oh,
so it just helped it basically was a
That's
workshop.
really helpful.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a
but
workshop.
workshopping is
still
like
there.
a main thing about writing.
No, it's literally a main thing. Like people are like, oh, it takes 5-8 years to get to Broadway. I'm like, because they're doing workshops.
Because they're doing workshops.
Because they're
getting
workshops.
feedback.
They're literally doing workshops.
So you've talked a lot about also like the shows that that you like. You've done a lot of like Broadway content and like lists and things like that. Because I have something to ask you. You said you don't like shows past the 2000s. Why don't you like good shows?
Okay, it's not
you're
that you're
drawn to the old school ones.
Yeah,
you're
I'm drawn
a
to
classical
like
girly.
the history of it, but also like it's not that I don't like shows past the 2000s. It's that I need to be wowed, and I think that
I gotcha.
especially post 2020, it's just been a bit of a crisis of like these shows aren't ready for Broadway. They're not getting the love they used to. They're not original. The books are bad. They're weak. They lack. They're just meh. Like the last few seasons I've just been like, okay. And then you see something like A Strange Loop and it's like so much better than everything else that's been there.
Did you see Teeth that he also wrote?
No, I need to see Teeth. I have not seen it, and I know that it's going to come back, right? Like
I don't know, because it was
I was not able to see it. I was so busy.
fucking wild.
Like A Strange Loop was like freaking miles ahead of everything else that we've seen over the last few years.
It's very modern, and it was very raunchy, and
But
it was
like,
just very kind of
it was like real. It was good.
It was
and
very cool. Yeah.
I need things to be up to that caliber when they're new. Like I just don't like Hadestown, for example. Like when you sit there, it's obvious that it took 8 years. It's obvious. Like every single beat of it, you feel the work, the energy, the love, the commitment. It is so polished.
Yes.
That compared to anything else that's coming onto to Broadway right now, I'm like, what did this take? 2 weeks? Like, come on, guys.
I will agree. There are some that you're kind of like, how did this go through so many people and so many millions of dollars?
And it's also just like, why are we only catering to tourists? I know that that's important, but
It's
like,
a lot.
why are we not pushing ourselves to find a new audience? They're like so worried that they're gonna lose their audience because like the boomers and like everything, they're like aging out. And I'm like, but then why is the focus not on finding new audiences, and why is it just adapting any IP that you feel like you need to adapt right now?
I know, but I do feel like this past season, there were a lot of originals. Like you said, it doesn't maybe some were, but I do feel like maybe Happy Ending was
is good.
Was great. I really liked One of Us, a Social Club. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't get to see it.
But again, it's not like it's from a real
Yes.
like I have like such mommy brain from a real album.
Yeah, it's real.
That they did the story, but it is just such a fucking party.
I've heard it's really, really good.
Such a party. Like you'll just go in there and you'll just be like, you just feel good after,
Yeah.
and that's like that's what I like after a show. I'm like I want to
100%.
feel good. I don't want to be like,
Yeah.
So that's why you kind of are drawn more to the classical
I'm
stuff.
drawn more to the classical stuff, and it doesn't have to be pre-2000s. It's just like when I really pre-2010s, when I look at like shows I like. After 2010, I started to be like, what are we doing? Obviously, there's like the Hamiltons and like.
And you liked Something Rotten.
And I
love
Something Rotten. Love. But like
I love
what I'm
it.
saying is
Like
I need
6
to be
times.
wowed. It's so good. Like it's so good. It's so funny. The script
Every
is so good.
number is a showstopper.
It's so good. It's so fun. It's so lively. Like I really think that's what Book of Mormon thought it was doing.
Are you not a Book of Mormon fan?
No. I think that's what Book of Mormon thought it was doing. I don't know why
But Book of Mormon came out before.
I know, but still.
But still,
No, but still.
you're like, this is what they were trying to achieve.
I'm like, this is what they tried to attempt.
Well, then what? Because Book of Mormon was that they were literally following the outline of like all the big songs from big musicals.
Listen, my problem with Book of Mormon is that I don't think audiences are smart enough to understand that like the call is coming from inside the house. Like they're making fun of you. They're making fun of you, which I think is hysterical.
Hilarious.
That they're making fun of us. They're making fun of like white savior personalities who go to Africa and think they're saving the world.
Of course.
That's the motif. But then you sit in an audience with a bunch of like wealthy white people who are laughing at the racist jokes. And it's like, that's not what's funny. That's deeply uncomfortable. So I get a little bit like, intent versus impact with that one where I'm like, I don't think the audiences it's not clocking to them.
But that's how I felt about A Strange Loop.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I felt the same way.
Do you know what I mean?
I sat there and I was like, oh no, why are we laughing? This isn't funny. Well, you're meant to be investigating why this makes you uncomfortable. You're not meant to be laughing.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, I'm like, here we have this piece of theater that's talking about this experience, and the people that are receiving it are a bunch of rich white people.
Yeah. And
I was like, that is a very
it's just
different.
an interesting.
It's very interesting.
I went with
that we're in that place.
A friend of mine, and I turned to her immediately after, and I said, the only thing that makes me so sad is that like 80% of this audience did not get that.
I know.
They did not get that.
I know.
And I don't think that we should be avoiding uncomfortable things.
Absolutely not.
In order to please rich white audiences at all. But I think A Strange Loop did actually a much better job than Book of Mormon. To me, it's a bit different where like, I don't think it's clear enough in a Book of Mormon that like, this is the split. I don't know. It's just not my favorite. And then also,
it's an interesting take. I've never heard that argument before, and I'm understanding what you're saying.
But also, I just think it's kind of messy, which maybe is the point of it. I'm like, this choreography is messy.
Just messy.
It's just messy. Like,
just messy.
I'm just like, let's clean it up a little bit.
It's
I don't
all
know.
White men. That's why.
It's also, exactly.
There's no rhythm on the Book of Mormon stage with
I'm
those
like,
guys.
come on, guys. I don't know. Book of Mormon, I've always been meh about, but Something Rotten, I think, is so brilliant.
I love Something Rotten.
It's fun.
I was
it just gets
so
to be
excited
fun
to see
for
that
fun's
you like
sake.
that. It's just fun for fun's sake.
I need more of that.
Same. Because I also you love Last 5 Years. I love Last 5 Years.
I love.
But
Jason
you didn't
Robert Brown.
see it.
I didn't see
and
it.
I want 3 reasons why.
Okay.
Because I've saw you talk about it. I want 3 reasons.
One, the casting of Nick Jonas was unnerving to me.
Okay.
So I'll leave it there.
Okay.
2, I heard that it was deeply confusing to people and that they needed to somehow differentiate more between like where we were at. And I think it would have frustrated me to watch it be done poorly.
Got it.
From a directorial perspective, like execution wise, like hello, just like a screen, make it more obvious. Like a costume change is not going to do it here. It's confusing.
If you don't know,
if you don't know,
yeah.
If you don't know, it's confusing, and you have to understand when you cast one of the most fantastic women who's ever graced the stage in one role, and then Nick Jonas in the other. You have to understand people are coming for that, not because they get it. So like you need to be a little bit more obvious. And I intentionally don't put myself in spaces where I feel like I'll get pissed off.
That's perfect.
No, and I love that show and I love Adrienne Warren, but I was like, I don't want to be upset today.
But you know what? I saw it and I went in like arms crossed. The music saves it.
No, the music is...
and it wasn't that bad. I'll tell you.
Did you feel like it wasn't that bad?
It was. I left being like.
I think also like all joking aside,
yeah.
Busy season for me, and I was just trying to see as much as I could, and
there
it just
was
never crossed my desk.
I still haven't caught up. There's still so much that's closing that I missed.
I'm not caught up.
Really
but
upset.
I was just like I was in the situation where like I was working with Lempika's team, so I was there, and then like I had to see Redwood because I'm an Adina girl.
I
and
loved
then, like,
Lempika.
I ate Lempika up.
I was really
pissed.
sad.
Lempika needed a year more of edits, I think. Maybe.
It was a little long.
You know what? She was a little verbose, but like it was actually
a bunch
really
of songs towards the end where you're like,
hello.
Yes.
Wait, the opening though? It was really, really good.
And I guess that was a different opening than it originally started too.
Yeah.
I thought it was just so I love Lempika. So you were working with the Lempika team. What were you doing with the Lempika team?
I did like a brand deal for Lempika where like I went to see Lempika and like I did a little video for them and I loved it. So I got to be like completely 100% like was so authentic.
I did a Lempika video on my own accord.
Yeah, I just did.
I was like, give me Lempika.
Clearly, I did not save Lempika, by the way. But like, I wish I could have.
Neither one of us saved Lempika.
Yeah, we did not save Lempika. I did not save Redwood, but like, I liked Redwood as well. I was really impressed by that tree. I think she sounded really healthy.
I thought that it was like I was happy to see it on show. I thought it was one of those ones I left and I went. I just saw a show, but I loved everyone in it.
Oh my god, and I was deeply moved.
I was very moved, and Zach Noah Pizer at the end,
Gorge.
and I interviewed Michael Park, and he is just like the most
fabulous,
lovely human being that I was like, I want this to run forever just because I want you to have a job.
Yeah.
So that was that was kind of a bummer because it was something very different.
Yeah.
It was something very different. But I also felt like they kind of shoved a lot of songs right at the end where it's like we could have taken maybe 1 or 2 out.
100%. And they tried
Maybe
to tackle a lot.
They tried to do a lot. But it was a very
it
moving
worked for
show.
me. I don't know. That was like a big critique, but it worked for me. I liked it. The rest of the season, I've tried to see most things. I saw Death Becomes Her.
Yeah.
I didn't love her.
Didn't love her.
I didn't get to see it with Megan Hilty, and I think maybe that's a reason I didn't like it. But I felt like, and I want to preface this by saying that I enjoyed Bad Cinderella, and I enjoyed it for what it was.
I saw that, but you got real drunk.
Like, I was wasted, but like, that's Bad Cinderella.
That's how I see shows.
I just don't understand what the difference is between the two. I think Bad Cinderella was trying to be good, and Death Becomes Her is trying to be exactly what it is. And I think the authenticity is what saves it. Like, I think that's why people like it. But for me, they're on an even. Like, for me, like, it's fun, and it was campy, and it was goofy, and it was over the top, and it was silly, and it was vibes.
Did Bad Cinderella have a huge set? Like,
it had a huge set. It had crazy costumes.
Because I know that's what people like also about
was just
Death Becomes Her, is that it's got like a proper
and I will say
school
Death
set.
Becomes Her's songs are better. The songs are better.
Julie Madison's amazing.
The songs are really good, but like they both gave me like we're having a fun jubilant time.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike Death Becomes Her. I just didn't understand like as a Bad Cinderella truther, I was like, I'm a little confused here.
That's so funny.
They were getting like death threats on Bad Cinderella's side, and Death Becomes Her's Tony nominated. So I'm like, there's a disconnect for me that it's not clocking me.
Interesting.
I don't think that Bad Cinderella deserved a Tony nom.
Right.
Like Death Becomes Her is far more polished.
Right.
But they were both giving like silly, campy, goofy fun. And I think what the kind of final thoughts that I have come to is that Bad Cinderella was not attempting that. They were attempting to be good.
Right, which
really,
I think was probably also the problem with Tammy Faye, is that it thought it was good. It was like
you can't think you're good.
If they went campy, it probably something else could have happened with it.
It could have been saved.
But they were trying to be like genuine. You're like, I'm
not watching this.
I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you did go to the Tonys this past season.
I did.
You did go to the Tonys, and I want to know, and I'm so jealous. I'm putting it out there. I'm going next. I'm putting it out there in the universe. Come back to me. I would die to go to the Tonys. But were you there for like pre-show?
There for the whole thing.
So how fucking long is it?
It's so long. And
were
I had
you bored?
Been before,
were you drunk? Were
not
you tired?
Bored, but not bored. But I had been before in 2022. I want to say is when I went, and that was the first year post COVID, and so they had no bars. I will say that was a bit much because we left my apartment the first year at 3:30 p.m.
Yes.
We didn't have a bar till 11.
No.
It's the Tonys.
It's the Tonys.
I need a glass of champagne.
Many glasses.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This year also left at like 3 o'clock because
Yeah.
we were the first to walk the carpet, and then we went to the pre-show. We went to a little like pre-cocktail reception, but they had open bars.
Amazing.
So like we're just going to the bars. It's like my favorite night of life.
Yeah.
This year was so fabulous and fun.
So good.
We were just running around the city afterwards and being delightful, and it was just fabulous.
So during the show, did they let you drink during the show? Like, can you get up and or do they?
Oh, you have to get up during commercial breaks.
You get up during commercial breaks.
If you don't do that, then you get stuck outside. But the most fabulous thing happened to me when I was there this past year, which is that like it was about to start, and I got in line to get like water and chips because I had like so much champagne and drinks and whatever throughout like the pre-show ritual moment. Like I was on this line, and I started to hear like the orchestra warming up. And I was talking to a girl who followed me, and she was in front of me, like right in front of me. But I was like, I'm not missing Cynthia. It's just not happening.
We're not.
Like,
no.
That's my favorite mutual on TikTok for real. Like, I'm going to sit down and support my girl. So I was like, I'm not missing her. And I turned to her and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not going to miss this. So I'm going to go. And I put down my chips and my water, and her boyfriend took them and paid for them and gave them back to me. And it was the nicest thing ever.
Wait, what?
And he was like, go see Cynthia, girl. And I was like, that's a good man.
That's so sweet.
How cute is that?
That's so sweet.
Best moment of my life.
So you are sustained from 3 to 11 on chips.
No dead ass chips and champagne and like.
It's kind of a dream scenario, honestly.
It's
like if I'm not,
it's very Tony's. Like, and then there's like candy. They have candy chips. Like they have snackies and whatnot. I don't know what they're serving down below, but like we were up in the mezz and they had all the good stuff.
Oh, that's amazing. Did you get to talk to anybody?
Gosh, who did I talk to
Did
that night?
anybody smell good?
Oh my gosh. You know who I talked to is Julianne
Huff?
Yeah, I never know how to pronounce her name.
Hoof, huff, hoof. I think you nailed it.
I was listening to her Grease live while I was getting ready. Like
So
a kid kept coming on
funny.
my shuffle, and I went up to her and told her that, and she's fabulous and she smells great. So like, obviously that was really wonderful.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of who else I like saw and met. I met Jen Colella the first time I went to the Tonys, and she was so nice.
She's so kind.
Couldn't be nicer.
Yes,
Fabulous.
she
like,
seems amazing.
Truly so fabulous. Like everybody's fabulous. Jessica Vosk like sang at the after party. Fabulous.
She's very funny.
Yeah, she's wonderful. And I actually went and saw her at the Muni Do Waitress last year. Not this year, last year. So it was really just, it was wonderful. It was a great night.
Okay, so Tony's is a fun night.
Tony's is a really fun.
It's a fun
Tony's
night.
is what you make it.
Okay.
Like I'm sure.
Oh,
people
interesting.
I'm sure people that go every year could complain their way through it. Would
Sure.
never catch me doing that. Like,
Sure.
it's a long ass day, and you don't really get to like fully eat or like drink. Like you can drink and like you can eat and get snacks, but like
You're not having a
especially
meal.
if you're going early, like especially if you're like photographers, publicists,
Yeah,
like
man.
all that, reporters. Like no, you're not eating a meal from 3 till 11.
It's like a wedding.
So it's
like if you're the
kind of like
bride.
it's kind of like a bad wedding in that
You're
way,
the
where
bride,
it's like
you're not
it's a
fucking
wedding when
eating.
you're the bride, or it's a bad wedding for guests where they're just like not serving food, or it's like bad or not hot.
It's too long.
Yeah, so but it's so you're running on adrenaline. Because I knew this year about like the run of show I ate before, and then I like ate chips and candy, and then like
I'd
all
stick
the
like
after
a
parties have food.
McDonald's and like I'd do like a big purse and stick like a plain cheeseburger.
Yeah,
in there.
exactly, exactly. You'll be great.
Now, I love that little Tony insider because I saw that you had gone and I thought that was cool, but obviously we want to talk about your book that is coming out.
Yes.
It is your second book.
Yes.
Because your first book, remember what I didn't know I needed this.
Yes.
And now this one is called Does Anybody Else Feel This Way? And I want to know, that's honestly, I think a question in my brain 99% of the time. I'm like, am I crazy? Am I fucking crazy? So I want to know what was going on in your brain. Like, what were you feeling when you came up with this title? Like, what was the thought that you were like, does anyone else feel this way?
Actually, I did a podcast episode on my old podcast called You're in Your 20s. WTF do I do now? Something like that.
I mean,
and
every
it's
age
basically
group,
just
girl.
like a hour-long diatribe about like how isolating it is to be like 22 or 23 years old, and how like you kind of have this expectation that when you graduate from college, like you're gonna just be fine, like you're gonna be an adult, and like
I know.
you know your mom had to figure it out somehow, and you call her for everything. Like there has to be a time when you learn all that. I think it's the adjustment of realizing like none of the adults even know what they're doing. There's no way to feel like an adult. And like even you, I'm sure, with 2 children and a husband and just
I feel so
moved, and,
bad
like,
for them.
You're like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. And that's not to say that you're a bad mom or a bad partner. It's to say that none of us know what's going on. And a lot of us are pretending to, which can feel really damaging, especially with social media, because
Especially
it's like
with social media.
everyone is pretending that they have their shit together, and or everyone is posting these highlight reels, and it's so isolating.
It's toxic.
And the podcast episode just did really, really well. Like it outperformed every podcast episode I'd ever put out, and it was just complete solo monologue.
Yeah.
And my team was like, I was thinking about, some other books that I wanted to write and other essay collections, and my team was like, I think that that's the book. And then
Yeah.
we oscillated through a lot of titles, but truly what the book comes back to is like the most helpful thing that you can do at this time in your life is reach out and ask other people, does anyone else feel this way? It feels so much better to know that the answer is yes. And I
Yeah.
think that like that's kind of, not to give a spoiler, but that's what the book kind of says to you, is that like connection is really meaningful.
Yeah.
And finding people that you can relate to or not even relate
being
to,
alone.
just like work through things
Yeah.
with, is so important. And so that's kind of how we came to the title and the idea.
So is that what you think you feel that question the most about, is just kind of this in between, like
Yeah.
not knowing?
I think it's everything. I think it's your relationships, your friendships, you know,
Yeah.
socialization, social media, just feeling lonely and anxious in general, career stuff, like.
Yeah, because you also, I read this this like kind of story that you told about you have panic attacks.
Yeah.
But you're such a visible and such a public person that like I'm wondering like how you kind of got through that to be able to be as visible as you are. Like how do you work through it?
Yeah, I would say that like honestly I was pretty like panicked as a young child, like as a young person, and
Yeah.
then I like kind of came out of it and think like my anxiety has definitely like come in waves. I
Totally.
would say that like it's gotten a lot worse now, but I don't think it's directly correlated to the social media stuff. It was just like some personal stuff that happened, and kind of like a whole long story went down that kind of like I think brought up a lot of old emotions and feelings. But I think that like the does anyone else feel this way of it all is really kind of likened to that experience as well.
Yeah, man.
That like once you start talking about those things, to recognize that like you're not the only person in the world that has felt this way is such a refreshing thing, especially when, and this I'm sure like you understand, like people don't talk about things. Like I'm sure when you became a mom, you're like, wait, no one says any of this.
No
like,
one tells you anything.
Why does everyone just post pictures of their like Duna Nuna strollers?
No,
and,
I'm in
like,
hell.
Happiness. And it's just
two
like
children hell.
And you're like, I have 2 children, and like, does anyone else feel this way?
Yeah.
Or anything, like any time in life, any career change, any big life situation, it's just like so helpful to hear that other people feel.
It's incredibly. I actually, I struggled to get pregnant, and I felt like there wasn't a lot. It's kind of being talked about a lot more now, but I really felt like I was like kind of like you guys are all just having sex in Mexico, like, and that's how you're having children.
And then
I was
you're
like,
just
that's not
seeing,
happening
like, a
for
million
me.
pregnancy announcements, and you're like,
Everybody was
kill you all.
Everybody is pregnant when you're trying to get pregnant, and so I wrote a comedy show about it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
like
so
because
like-
you do need you're like there's got to be other people that feel this way, that need somebody to give a voice to it so that they don't feel insane. Yeah.
And you start to realize just how like not isolated you are when you start to talk about it. Like it's like that idea that like when you find out about something, like you learn a new word and then you start seeing the word everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like once you give a voice to an experience, you start seeing the experience. You start seeing other people like coming out of the woodworks.
That's so true. That is, yeah. It's like once I started being like, oh, I'm struggling with, infertility, people were like, same girl.
Same. And you were like, whoa. Where were you guys
Everybody,
in the field of a million
so many
pregnancy
people
announcements?
I know. Yeah, people that would just announce a pregnancy without being like, this took 5 years. And so
Yeah.
like when it happened for me, I was like, this was $100,000 in a 5-year process. Like this
Yeah.
was not fucking easy.
Yeah.
I was shooting myself
I
up in
didn't have fun.
bathrooms. This was not fun.
Yeah.
This was definitely not fun. So I'm writing about it so that hopefully you can laugh, because I was not laughing.
Yeah.
And so this is the second book. And though and obviously we're doing podcasts. I want to, because I know you kind of do talk about like the inside and everything. So, and you were at a podcast before this. So when you're promoting a book, like what is the media blitz? Like how much do you have to do? Like how many podcasts do you have to go on?
You do like 500 podcasts. But
Oh my
podcasts are
God.
beautiful. Podcasts are the way of the world.
It's the new thing.
Podcasts
Yeah.
are so helpful for authors. They're so
Yes.
helpful for creatives of all kinds.
Yes.
So I love podcasts. I like to talk, and I had a podcast. I'm familiar with the game. I know podcasts.
Yeah.
But it's a lot, but it's good. I would say it's overwhelming for sure.
Oh my
but
God,
if you
yeah.
kind of just like, I'm the type of person, I'm like, if I just take things one day at a time and I don't like overwhelm with like what tomorrow brings, like I know what my week looks like. 'Cause on Sunday I'll look at my week as a whole, but I don't
Just go
look
day
at
by
each
day.
individual day until the night before. Just
Yeah.
ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
man.
way too much. Like I know what's coming on a Sunday. But I'm not gonna be like looking through everything I have until the night before, because
Yeah.
it's just, we're not going to do that. Especially if you would get nervous for something. I'm not really that type of person, but sometimes there is something that makes me nervous. I'm like, this is kind of random, but I had a breast reduction surgery when I was 18, and
Right.
everyone's always like, were you scared? I'm like, oh, I did no research. I didn't look up one thing. I never Googled a thing.
I just
So, like,
thought my
I don't want to
boobs
know.
smaller.
I don't want to know what you're doing. I don't want to know how you're doing it. I don't want to hear a horror story. I don't want to hear a success story.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I want to know nothing. I went to the pre-op appointment and I said, tell anything to my mom. Like the
I'm
meds I
not
have to take, the
done.
thing I have to do, the aftercare. I don't want to know, because if I know, it's so much room to spiral.
I
But if
know.
I don't know, it's like, let's just get there and be ourselves.
Let's just go.
Same thing with the surgery. Let's just get there and be ourselves.
Let's just get there, take these things off, and
Exactly.
let's just get through it.
Exactly. And I did.
Yeah, and they're fine, and you're fine,
And I'm
and
fine.
it was fine,
Everything's fine.
and it was great. So there's a lot of. Do you have rules for going on podcasts? Because I know you've got your rules. Did you ever
Ooh.
make one of those?
No, that's a good one though.
You
I
should do
really
one.
think though, like, it's definitely an uncomfortable environment if you haven't done it before.
It's a muscle. It's weird.
But it has a lot to do with the other person. Like and I'm sure you have as well, done so many interviews where you're like, I'm pulling teeth. Like, what is this? Or just like we're not bouncing off each other. We're not getting a vibe. I try to just be a sponge because I know how hard it is. Like, even if I have a headache, if I don't feel good, whatever, I try to just like bring a good vibe, because
Yeah.
it's like the other person is here to interview you, and they've done work and research, and they're hoping that there's a banter going on. Because if they're not, they're doing so much more work to try to keep their podcast going, because it's like
becomes
your
a lot-
podcast.
Yeah, it becomes a lot to volley. That's why it's kind of nice doing it with other creatives, because
Yeah.
we like to talk.
We like to talk. We get it. We understand the creative process.
We
It's not-
understand, yeah. So it's nice to have somebody that like is like, I understand this game. So thank you very much.
Of course.
Let's see, you're going on tour with it. What can people expect from the tour? And then I've got 2 more questions, and then I've got our game.
Oh my God, I can't wait for the game.
Okay.
tour is really fun with
Yeah,
books.
what can people expect?
So my first one, I was very much so team wanting to do something different because I think like my social media stuff, I kind of wanted to see what I was capable of.
Yeah.
So I did my own little show. So it was a live show. It was more like a podcast show.
Yeah.
I had guests. We played games. I had segments. I read from the book. It was crazy. It was fun. And I met every single person who came. That was something I really wanted to do my first time. Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
Thousands and thousands. And it was crazy. I can't believe I didn't get sick. Like, not that you guys are sick at all. But like, it's
a lot of people.
It's winter.
It's a lot of hands.
The fact that it was winter and I
Yeah.
took thousands of photos and nobody passed anything to me, God bless my immune system.
Yeah.
But that was really, really fun. But this time I want to be really confident in myself as an author. So I decided I want to do more of a stereotypical traditional book tour,
Sure.
which looks a lot like supporting indie bookstores, which is a huge thing that I'm proud to do and excited about. And you basically travel around to different bookstores around the country in the week following your publication, and you get moderators, and they basically do an interview. It's like
And
a
you've
podcast.
moderated because you moderated Morgan's.
Oh yeah, I moderate all the time.
Yeah,
and
that's because you love book. You're a book,
I love
You're like a
books.
big reader as well.
I also have a grad degree in journalism from Columbia,
Yeah.
so I'm quite natural with interviewing.
Yeah.
Happy to do it. So I love to moderate, but it's great because if you moderate a lot, then people will return favors.
That's
And moderate
nice.
for you or just, be a helping hand. So we have
Yeah.
a great lineup of moderators, super fun mix of authors, media personalities, just going to be really exciting. And
Awesome.
We'll start here in New York, and we have the 54 Below show, and then we'll start here in New York, and then we kind of travel to a bunch of my biggest cities. And I wish I could go everywhere, but like, the super exciting news is there will be more. And I'm tried something different for the first one. I want to try this for this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to be an author.
Do something else for the third
I'm
one.
going to see that and see what happens. Maybe the next time it'll be some combination of both, or I'll like one way of doing it better than the other. But it's always fun to try things. And I'm ready to go back on the road. It was I'm an introvert, which you're like, no, you're not. You're so talkative. But I really am. Like I
understand that.
I like to be alone, and I
get that.
I don't gain energy from being around people. Like I have several podcasts. This week, I think I have like 15 podcasts.
It's a lot of podcasts.
So tonight will be just going home and I won't be
And being
speaking to
silent.
anybody at all. And I think that going on tour like sucked life out of me because it doesn't give me life to like be around so many people, but it also was the most like transformative, incredible, beautiful, like wonderful experience I've ever had. I write about it in the book a little bit. And so I'm excited to go back on the road, do that whole thing again, but this time be around book people. It's the best.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole different world.
Okay, and now I want to ask you. That's also where's your New York show and what time?
It's in Brooklyn.
I mean, what
It's
date?
Unfortunately sold out, but I can.
Oh, too bad. Too bad.
I can disclose that we're doing a live stream option. So information, by the time this is live,
Yes.
information will be available on
Okay,
that. And Chicago still has tickets left. Detroit, Houston, Jersey City, and DC. They all still have
Ooh,
tickets
we're in
left.
Jersey City.
We're doing, most of them are venues that bookstores set up, but I think we're working with Word Bookstore. Am I
Yeah,
right to say
yeah,
that?
Word Up.
Word is really good. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah,
It's a
they're
great
right
bookstore.
by in Hamilton Park.
Yeah,
I was
great
just in there. I
bookstore.
just bought my daughter a book from there. Just a couple
They're
days ago.
fabulous.
Okay, so I saw something on your website. It says if you're not like, you're reading or you're seeing a show or you're eating Chipotle. So we've got the people have demanded to know your Chipotle order.
I'm like a huge Chipotle girl.
Me
Like,
too.
It's my favorite food.
Dude, when I was like working in the city, I was having it like 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh no, I like actually do, and I wish they could cater my wedding, but my parents are like, "This is a black tie wedding,"
It
which
doesn't
is super
matter.
fair. And I'm like, that my parents are like big into hosting, obviously, because the restaurants. So they're like, black tie attire means black tie experience. You cannot ask people to put on a tuxedo and a gown and not give them a seated dinner.
Yes, you
And
can.
I, no, literally,
You can
yes, you
sit and eat Chipotle.
I 100% agree with my parents that like. They're right. Like, we should provide the guests that we're asking to wear such fancy attire with like a fancy experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, what if we got everyone's Chipotle order in a Google form and then brought it out to them?
Or
while
did
they
late
sit?
night Chipotle.
Yeah, exactly.
Did like a taco bar, like
I'm,
late
like,
night. Late night food for a
such-
wedding is
Yeah,
clutch.
I'm such a Chipotle girl. But my order is very specific. I get
Okay.
white rice, no beans, double steak.
no beans.
I don't like the beans.
Me neither.
Double steak, and then the only other toppings I put on it are cheese and lettuce. And then on the side, I do sour cream, corn, and guac, and chips. And
So
then
you make nachos.
yeah, I don't like this. I like my bowl to be warm, so a lot of times I heat it up when it gets there. So I don't want the cold stuff to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
The lettuce you can't get a side of, so sometimes I just rock with a little warm lettuce. But
Yeah.
the rest, I get on the side so it can be warm bowl, cold toppings, and
Love
then
it.
you can take the chip and dip it into the toppings and then get a scoop, and it's like a perfect bite every time.
I love it. I was doing I used to do the extra tortilla on the side, and basically you can make like 2 burritos
No, yeah,
with
you
it.
can really, it's more bang for your
I've
buck.
started cheating now and doing the 2 kids tacos
yeah,
you
usually-
can fill like 6. They're like $7 a piece.
Yeah, I do that when I don't want as much food because a bowl is like so much food.
Sometimes I can't. Sometimes halfway through a bowl, I go, "This was a very bad decision."
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna get sick right now.
Yes, and then I just fill the little kid things, and then I just pick and choose
I do that all the
my
time.
adventure,
I do
which
that
I
all the
love. Okay, and then this is our new. So last season, my question that I asked everybody was, what Jellicle cat are you most attracted to? But this year, the new question that we're rolling out that we're going to ask everyone is, a la Masquerade, which is the immersive phantom experience. What is the show that you would least like to see turned into an immersive experience?
That's such a good question. I'm like, what did I hate?
What did I hate?
Like literally Phantom. No, just kidding. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm like, Phantom would be a great one to turn into that. What show would I least like to see turned into an immersive experience?
Yes. Get me out of here.
That's such an interesting, like, my gut instinct is like Sweeney Todd, but like I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool.
It
Like,
could.
that's scary, but I think it would be kind of interesting.
As long as you could avoid getting cut.
Yeah, maybe like one of my faves because like I think it's kind of a mess. Like I
Which
don't
one?
need immersive. I was gonna say maybe like Les Mis because like I don't need immersive. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't like it. Don't come into the aisles. We're so fine. Like unless it's like Mamma Mia party and like we're getting up and dancing. I don't want you in the aisles. Like get out of that.
I don't want you to pretend like I'm
You're
also in
on
war.
the stage. Like we're here. Like I don't need to feel like I'm like. Good theater will make me feel like I'm there. I don't need you to like force me to feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
Like, just be good.
Right.
So immersive Phantom of the Opera is not really for me. And so I think if they turned one of my favorite shows ever, which Les Miserables, into like immersive Les Miserables, I'd be like, just give us Les Miserables back.
Just-
like give us Les Mis.
Yes.
I don't need to see immersive.
Yeah, I'm not
immersive
gonna.
French Revolution.
You wave the flag.
Yeah, you guys do it because it's my favorite show. So I want to see you guys do it.
Yeah, I don't need to pretend like
I
I'm
don't need to-
a French prostitute who's dying.
No, but
I don't want to
also,
be
like,
that.
I'm happy to come in and like I think I could definitely do Fontaine or Eponine if they like ever need someone.
Putting it out there. I'm going to the
That's
Tonys.
not immersive. That's me getting cast.
That's what I'm saying. We're putting it out there in the universe. Okay. And for our final act with Eli Rallo, we have this thing that we call hot scene cold read. So
Okay.
I've got a little scene that we are going to cold read together. So
Okay.
you are the first person. I am the
Okay.
second person. And this is because I saw that you just got engaged. What a beautiful ring.
Thank you.
And so this is a little bit of a wedding inspired scene. So
Oh, great.
I will start.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to cold read it. All right. I still don't know why you needed me here.
You're my sister, the most important person in the world to me. Of course I want you here to help me pick out a wedding dress. Now, what do you think of this one?
I think you look like a cupcake.
A sexy cupcake?
No, just a regular cupcake from a grocery store.
Okay. What about this one?
Are we really still doing white for wedding dresses? Such an unflattering color, and you're not even a...
Okay, why are you being such a bitch?
Excuse me?
You're being a total bitch. I'm getting married. Why can't you just be happy for me?
Because you're marrying my husband.
Why are you so hung up on that? This is so typical to make my wedding day about you.
We aren't even divorced. We aren't even separated. We don't even have any marital issues.
I know he's obviously a really good husband.
Well, this is such a little sister thing to copy everything I do. Like when we were teenagers and my favorite band was NSYNC, and so you slept with Joey Fatone.
Oh my God. You're still holding on to that? It wasn't even Joey Fatone.
Yeah, it was weird that he worked at a cell phone kiosk in the mall.
He said he was researching teen trends, but fine, okay. You want to be difficult about it? You don't want to be fun? Fine. I won't marry your husband.
Oh, what? Now you're too good for my husband?
Wait, what?
And scene.
Wow, we killed that.
That was actually, you were a really good cold reader.
Thank
And
you.
I've had a ton of Broadway people on here. You really embodied that. Thank you so much for joining us. Please
Thank you so
plug your
much.
book again. Tell everybody where it is. Tell everybody also where they can find you and where they can support you.
You guys can find me at eli.rallo on Instagram and just Eli Rallo on TikTok. And you can order the book anywhere you order books. You can go to your local indie bookstore and ask them to order it for you if they don't already have the option. And
Oh,
Books
awesome.
Are Magic in Brooklyn is doing signed copies up until the date it's released. So maybe a few days before. You can get one there. And then obviously Barnes & Noble, Amazon, but try to order local and indie. And that's that.
Yay! And for everybody else, like, subscribe, tell your friends, follow the Instagram, go see live theater, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Yay, bye.